Mike's Bags. Today I'm reviewing Viral by Rocket Bags. Let's go and dive in, break these bags down. As always, start with materials. Slow side, this is a true carpet material. It's the same slow side you find on the BG Viking, Fly Magic, True Cornhole Beast. It's probably, I would say probably the most popular carpet material out there now as far as the 100% true carpet materials. It's a control material, plays about a 4-speed. Brand new, it's played a little quicker. Once you soften it up, break it in, I think it gets down to about that 4-speed. It's great for blockers, and you can put blockers where you want on the board. It's great for cuts, rolls, flops, all that shot shaping. It's a very sticky material. It works well if you're a hard thrower, if you're a player who likes to land deep on the board, if you're playing on fast boards. It does it all really well. So 4-speed on the slow side. Fast side, this is that same fast side you find on the Reynolds Pro Advantage and the BG Viking. It's a 7-speed material. It's fast but has control. It's hole friendly for what it is. So you can spilp it over with confidence and throw this fast side and not worry about the bag get out of control. So it's great for if you're a hard thrower and you're like this slow side. This is a wonderful fast side to pair with it because you can throw this with your hard throw and not be fearful of the bag just being completely out of control. Looking about a 4.7 on these Virals here. Template wise, a medium template bag, medium amount of fill in here. So the bag has flop. It is not overly floppy. It is not overly full, which is good, right? You want some flop. Anytime you have a control material, sticky material like this slow side here, you want some flop. The flop's going to give you forgiveness. If you get a bag that's full like this, what you have is a bag that's really going to kick, be very punishing. Even if you throw flat, it may still be hard to control. Adding this flop in here, you take some of that kick out. You give the bag a little bit more forgiveness. You also give the bag forgiveness around the hole because you've got that corner that'll dip down and grab the hole and pull it back or keep it in play. I'm not going to call this material hole friendly, the slow side, but I don't know of a 4-speed material or control material that is hole friendly, right? In the scheme of all bags out there, not hole friendly at all. But when you have flop like this, a forgiving material like this, when it grabs a hole, it pulls that bag. With enough speed, it'll pull it back in. If not, it'll get the bag, keep the bag in play, and then you can go get it with your next bag. So definitely a forgiving bag around the hole, a forgiving bag on the landing. The fill in these Virals is a mixed fill. I talk about all the time, I love mixed fills, so it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. Again, by adding some of that flat fill in here, you take some of the bounce out, take some of the action out, which means the bag isn't as punishing on the kick. If you aren't flat, by adding some of the beads in there, you do add back into the bag some of that hole friendly. Those beads are more hole friendly, so you give a little bit more hole friendly, kind of help counteract the stickiness of the slow side here. These bags are ACO approved, so if you play in the ACO, you can throw the Virals. Let's go ahead and jump in and talk about playability on these. And to me, this is a control bag, as I've talked about it over and time again. It's a bag you get up there and you want to play a dirty style game. You want to put blockers up there. You want to cut, you want to roll, you want to flop. You just want to get a lot of chaos, a lot of congestion on the board. That's what these bags are great for. However, as I mentioned before, if you're a hard thrower and you have a hard time with some of these other, especially these hybrid materials, being a little too fast for you, a bag like this will give you a little more control, will stick a little bit, slow down a little bit for you. So if you're a hard thrower, you could take these Virals and run bags with them, right? If you play on fast boards, if you've got some blazing fast boards, or maybe you throw a hybrid material, maybe you throw the Rocket Bags, the Stage 1 or the 0 hour bags, and you want a bag that's a little slower for when boards get just quite too fast for you for those type of bags. That's where the Viral comes in. Kind of complements those bags with a step down in speed so you can still play your same throw on faster boards. And as I mentioned, if you're a player who likes to land deeper on the board, so which for me, if you watch my clips here, when I'm throwing, a lot of times if I'm just trying to slot a bag in, a lot of times I will land the bag deeper on the board, close to the hole. So even if it does have a kick or movement, it doesn't have enough time to get out of range of the hole, right? The further back, the lower on the board you land, the more chance that bag will kick or move off course a little bit and miss the hole. You land a little closer to the hole. Even when it starts to move, it'll grab the hole and come back in. So a lot of times if I know I'm just trying to slide a bag in, I'll throw a little higher, a little deeper on the board, let it hit and slide up there. You'll also watch sometimes on my 4th bag, I'll flip the bag over and just go slick side. Because again, this fast side has enough control. I'm not afraid to flip it over and throw slick side. And if you're a fast bag thrower, maybe you want to take this bag and throw fast side down all the time, and then you can flip it over to the slow side when you need to put a blocker up there. Maybe you need to put a back blocker or just put a bag on, and you want a control side. You can definitely do that because this fast side is hole friendly, and this fast side will drip in the hole for you. So you do have some options with this bag, but for me, it's pretty straightforward. You're playing a dirty style game for the most part with this bag, and you've got the ability to put blockers where you want. Level 1, level 2, level 3. You can even have a level 4 on that. I don't know if I'd recommend a level 4 blocker in this bag because the fast side's not blazing fast. You're going to throw pretty hard to catch and push this slow side up from a level 4 blocker. It's probably going to take a couple bags to get it up there. But you get a level 2 blocker up there. When you come to collect, because the bags aren't super floppy, they don't really accordion up. So you can kind of just come up, clip a corner, and drag the bag in. They do a good job of kind of hooking and pulling the bags with them, so they're pretty easy to collect. If you get a little aggressive or maybe you miss your spot and you go a little too far over on your opponent's side, you can come through with a cut. Like I said, you got the ability to shot shape. You can come through the cut, grab it, pull the bag back in, whichever side you need to. If you got bags hanging on the hole, you've got the ability to kind of come across and clip it and pull it in. Even if you miss your shot, you do have the ability with these bags, because of the slow side, they tend to still stay in play most of the time. And that's what I like about, or I love about bags like this with control them, is because even if you're not perfect, even if something doesn't land right, whatever, the bag is still in play that you can go get with the next bag or within a couple bags like that if you need to. Or sometimes you miss and it still ends up in your opponent's way and it still becomes a good bag. So I like bags like this. When you start getting those faster bags, a lot of times when you miss, they're off the back or they're behind the hole. And once they get behind the hole, they're really hard to bring back in, almost impossible to bring back in for you. So bags like this tend to stay in play, tend to at least cause problems. Even if you throw your blocker and you go too far over your opponent's side, if it's still in your opponent's lane, it's still in their way, even if you can't go collect it, it still becomes a problem for them, something they got to deal with, and hopefully it makes them make a mistake. So bags like this really give that option. As I mentioned, shot shaping, so which means, not only can you throw your blockers up there and you can cut or roll or flop around your bag and leave your bag there. If your opponent's playing a dirty style game and they're throwing blockers up there and putting bags in your way, you've got the ability for the cuts, rolls, flops to get around their bag and leave their blocker there. So maybe you're not a dirty bag thrower. Maybe you're not a player who likes to throw blockers up there, but you get against an opponent who is going to be putting blockers up there, and you want a bag that gives you ways to get around it. That's what these virals do. Great for the cuts, rolls, flops. And honestly, it's not a bad bag to learn on it. So if you're just trying to learn to throw cuts, rolls, flops, this is a bag that you can learn on. At the bag, if you're at advanced level, you can have a lot of success with it. I really like this bag because I'm able to make this material is wonderful for me and my cuts. I can make some pretty harsh, aggressive cuts. I can get really creative and really move around bags and leave bags there. So it's fun for me. I like playing that style of game more so. So again, if you're trying to learn, maybe not the easiest, if you want, the best bag to learn on is a full bag that's full of 100% round bead. That's going to be super bouncy, super aggressive. But those bags are also very punishing if you don't throw flat or if you miss your mark. Or a bag like this, you kind of compromise, right? It's still an easy bag to shot shape with, but it's not as punishing because of the flop and the mixed fill. It has some forgiveness to it. So definitely a bag. I think if you're looking into getting that shot shaping game, you want to try it out. These virals are a great option to try out on that. That leads me into availability, and Rocket Bags has a website, rocketcornholebags.com. As always, I'll put a link down in the description for you guys. These bags were $69.99 for a set. It was $8.99 shipping, so $70. $9 shipping, $79 shipped to you. Rocket Bags did give me a discount code for you guys. It's MikesBags10. We'll knock that price down, shipped to you for about $72. So phenomenal price for an ACO stamp bag. If you don't have a slow bag in your backpack or in your Zuka, at $72, this is a great bag to add with that price point. You're not dumping a lot of money into it. Great to throw in your backpack or your Zuka for when maybe one of those situations arise where I talked about, or maybe you want to practice rolls or cuts or flops and you want a bag to really learn on. If you throw in the virals, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment down below. As always, I love hearing you guys' opinions. I thank you so much for your support, and I thank you for watching.